Oh, wow. Wow.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Jaden Smith, the 23-year-old son of Will Smith and Jade Smith, has also broken his silence over Will Smith slapping the host, Chris Rock, at the Oscars. For those unaware, Jaden is not only known for being the couple's son, but as an actor as well. Jaden Christopher Sire Smith, popularly known as Jaden, is an American rapper and actor. His cinematic debut was alongside his father, Will Smith, in the 2006 film The Pursuit of Happiness, and he again featured with his father in the 2013 film After Earth. So what are Jaden's thoughts regarding the whole situation? Let's find out in this video. Will Smith's son, Jaden, has spoken out after the actor rushed the Oscar stage and smacked Chris Rock in the face. The irate Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actor raised a hand at the ex-SNL comic after he made a poorly received joke on Jada Pink Smith's hair loss. Will Smith, 53, took exception to the joke about his wife shaving her head and stormed the stage before assaulting the presenter. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. Chris tried to jest, mentioning how Demi Moore chopped her head for the part in 1997. Jada, 50, on the contrary, has been battling with hair loss for years and last year chose to take it all off. While broadcasters in the US were able to turn off the visual and audio sting for a couple of seconds, overseas cameras filmed the incident. When the video restarted, Will seemed enraged as he shouted at the comedian, "Leave my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." Now, Jaden, 23, has turned to Twitter to defend Dad Will's behavior as viewers of the awards event flocked to social media to condemn him. He just commented in reaction to the evening, and that's how we do it. Jaden also shared a selfie writing, "My dad's speech made me cry," before swiftly removing it from his Instagram. Chris's poorly received remark was considered to be an ad-lib off of the screenplay he had provided to the Oscars filmmakers. Someone who works for the Oscars told me that Chris Rock was not interrupted by Will Smith at rehearsals yesterday. It was not supposed to happen, a source revealed. It was real. During the commercial break, Will was allegedly dragged aside and comforted by Sean Combs and Tyler Perry. Will looked to wipe tears from his eyes, while his other performers signaled for him to shrug it off and finish the night. Minutes later, Will came back on stage in tears, winning the Best Actor prize for his newest performance in King Richard. He launched his acceptance speech with a stern voice, explaining, "Richard Williams was a staunch protector of his family. I want to apologize to the Academy," he said toward the end of his speech. "I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like what they say about Richard Williams, but love will make you do crazy things." The only thing Oscar fans adore better than a viral moment, whether it is an upset triumph, an Adele Dazeem-style flop, or surprise feats of strength, is flocking to social media to debate said a viral moment after it happened. The internet is still melting down over last night's biggest Oscars shock, King Richard actor Will Smith rushing on stage to smack comedian Chris Rock after the latter made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. "Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it," Rock replied, in reference to Pinkett Smith's shaved head. Remember that the actress suffers from alopecia, which causes hair loss. Smith's aggressive outburst at Rock's joke provoked a broad spectrum of emotions from the viewing crowd. While some went straight for the joke, "Anyone has a late-night show I can borrow just for tomorrow?" tweeted Conan O'Brien, others showed indignation and concern. "Will Smith owes Chris Rock a huge apology," tweeted filmmaker Rob Reiner. "No one is doing okay," said a Black Lady sketch show star creator Robin Thede. Tay Diggs, meanwhile, elected to replicate the scene on his TikTok. Not long after his argument with Rock, Smith went on to win Best Actor for his work in King Richard. Though he apologized to the Academy and his fellow candidates for his actions, he did not apologize to Rock himself. The comedian has declined to seek charges. Let's take a look at some of the most remarkable reactions to who may go down as the most startling moment in Oscars history. Conan O'Brien writes on Twitter, "Just saw the Will Smith slap. Does anyone have a late night show I can borrow just for tomorrow?" Rob Reiner also appeared to think that Will Smith was absolutely out of line and that he owed Chris Rock an apology. Will Smith owes Chris Rock a huge apology. There is no excuse for what he did. He's lucky Chris is not filing assault charges. The excuses he made tonight were bullshit. Yvette Nicole Brown wrote on Twitter, "I know some of y'all may have been waiting for me to share my thoughts on the thing that happened tonight. I'm still stunned. That's why I'm mute. She continued by writing, "I do understand a black man's desire to protect black women, especially right now, and I can understand Will being in that mental space of protection after King Richard. I also understand that Chris was just making a joke, possibly not knowing what Jada is dealing with." The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences stated Wednesday a few days ago that the actor Will Smith was told to move out of the Oscars event after he slapped Chris Rock on stage Sunday night, but that the actor refused to depart. Things unfolded in a way we could not have anticipated. The Academy stated in a statement announcing that it had launched disciplinary proceedings against Mr. Smith. While we would like to clarify that Mr. Smith was asked to leave the ceremony and refused, we also recognize we could have handled the situation differently. Shortly after the disclosure, Mr. Rock used a sold-out comedy event in Boston to make his first public comments about the incident since Mr. Smith smacked him during the live worldwide broadcast of the Academy Awards. How was your weekend? Mr. Rock questioned the crowd at the Wilbur in Boston's theatrical district. "I'm still kind of processing what happened," Mr. Rock replied, briefly addressing the issue everyone was talking about. He promised to address it in greater depth later. "It'll be serious, it'll be funny, but I'd love to. I'm going to tell some jokes." Since the Oscars event Sunday, Hollywood celebrities, both related and unattached to the awards presentation, have weighed in freely on the issue. Mr. Rock, 57, had not been one of them. The legendary stand-up and actor-director didn't speak publicly about the incident until he said Wednesday evening. Mr. Smith, who the school claimed refused to leave during the encounter, apologized to Mr. Rock the next day after the Academy rejected his behavior. Mr. Rock's entry was received with an immediate standing ovation, and as audience members took their seats, they rose up again, leading the comic to try to quiet them so he could start. "Let me do a show, y'all," he said. "Y'all got me all misty." He addressed the elephant in the room, stating that he did not have a lot to say about what transpired. "So if you came to hear that, I had like a whole show I wrote before this weekend." Mr. Rock's grace under pressure that night was one of the few things that received plaudits in the aftermath of a horrific moment. He stayed on stage after he was struck, quipped to the astonished crowd that was the greatest night in the history of television, and carried on with the program. The Los Angeles Police Department announced immediately after the event that the person involved, likely Mr. Rock, had declined to submit a police report. The Academy's statement that Mr. Smith, 53, had been asked to leave came after its Board of Governors met Wednesday to review the incident. The organization did not disclose who had made the request. Earlier this week, two industry officials with knowledge of the incident stated that there had been significant conversations about removing Mr. Smith from the theater, but did not say he had been asked to leave. The Academy announced that it had launched disciplinary procedures against Mr. Smith for breaches of the Academy's norms of conduct, including improper physical contact, abusive or threatening behavior, and undermining the integrity of the institution. It added that Mr. Smith will be given an opportunity to react and that at its next board meeting on April 18th, it may take any disciplinary action, which may include suspension, expulsion, or other sanctions. The 2.5-hour meeting of the Board of Governors on Wednesday was described by two persons who attended as emotional, as the governors relayed the views of their constituents from diverse sections of the film business. The sentiment in the room, according to those who participated, was that it was their job to not normalize violence, said two governors who were allowed anonymity to discuss a private discussion. That will be all from this video, folks. Who do you think was in the wrong in this scenario? Should Rock have joked about Jada Smith's hair loss? Was Will Smith right to hit him for it? Do share your thoughts in the comments below.